The night was dark and the air smelled of smoke. Broken buildings stood like silent ghosts on the battlefield. Ashes floated in the wind, and silence carried the memory of war. A lone human soldier walked slowly between the ruins, his gun ready in his hands. His boots crushed glass and stone, but his heart was heavier than his steps. He had seen too much blood, too many faces of death. The war had turned him cold, but not empty. Deep inside, a part of him still wished for peace, though he never admitted it. He stopped when he heard a soft sound. It was not metal, not fire, not a soldier's voice. It was weaker, almost like a breath or a whisper. His eyes moved quickly, searching through the shadows, and then he saw her, an alien woman half hidden behind the wreck of a burned car. Her body was trembling, her skin faintly glowing in the night. She was hurt, bleeding from a wound on her side. Her eyes were wide, with fear, yet they shined like stars. The soldier raised his gun at once, his training taking control. Every order he ever received told him what to do now. Aliens were the enemy, they were killers, they were monsters. He should end her life here, no questions, no hesitation. But something froze his finger on the trigger. She was not fighting, not raising a weapon. Her hands were shaking, lifted weakly in the air, and then in a voice soft as the wind she whispered, "Don't shoot me, human. Let me live." The words echoed inside his chest. He blinked in shock, not believing what he had just heard. Aliens never begged. They never pleaded. They were supposed to be cruel, merciless, unfeeling. Yet here she was, voice breaking, sounding fragile and afraid. His grip on the gun tightened, his mind screamed at him, "This is a trick, this is how they fool us." But his heart whispered something different. She is not lying. The alien woman coughed, blood staining her lips. Her breath came short, but her eyes never left his. She spoke again, weaker this time. "And I'll give you a family." The soldier's heart stopped. He did not understand, not at first, family. The word felt heavy inside him. For years he had no one, no father, no mother, no brother. The war had taken everyone. He lived for orders, for battles, for survival. And now this dying alien was offering him what he lost long ago. His hand shook, the gun still pointed at her chest. One pull of the trigger would end it, end her voice, end her eyes, end this strange moment. But he could not. Something deep inside chained his finger. He lowered the gun just an inch, then more. The silence grew heavy, like the ruins themselves were watching. "Why?" he whispered at last, his voice harsh from years of shouting. "Why should I let you live?" The alien woman swallowed, pain twisting her face. "Because I am not your enemy," she whispered back. "Because I can give you more than war, more than orders, more than loneliness. I can give you what you have lost. I can give you family." His chest burned, anger and sorrow mixing inside. He wanted to scream at her, to call her a liar. But her eyes looked too real, too broken, too full of truth. He remembered his mother's smile, his father's voice, the warmth of home before it was destroyed. The soldier stepped closer, his boots loud against the stone. The alien's body tensed as if ready for the final shot. But he did not shoot. He reached out his hand instead, slow, unsure. For a moment he hated himself for it. But another part of him felt alive again. Her trembling fingers touched his hand, warm, soft, almost human, and in that touch, he felt something he had not felt in years. Hope, a distant noise, broke the moment. Voices of soldiers, human soldiers searching the ruins. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Beams of light crawling closer. The soldier pulled his hand back quickly, his mind racing. If they saw him with her, if they knew he spared her, they would kill her, and him too. His heart pounded as he looked at her weak body. She could not even stand without help. And yet she whispered again, almost breathless, "Please, human, let me live." The soldier turned his head toward the voices, then back at her. He felt trapped between duty and something greater. The night grew colder, the footsteps louder. The choice was in his hands. Kill her and walk away, or protect her and betray everything he ever knew. He looked at her one last time, her glowing eyes filled with fear but also strange hope. And he knew. His life had just changed forever. The soldier's heart beat faster as the voices of his fellow men grew, nearer. Their boots hit the ground with force, their guns clicked, their flashlights cut through the smoke. He stood frozen, one hand still close to his weapon, the other shaking from the alien's touch. The woman was weak, struggling to breathe, her glowing skin dim in the night. If he left her here, they would find her, kill her, and maybe even question him. If he tried to protect her, he would be called a traitor. The choice felt like a blade against his chest, sharp and heavy. He crouched close to her, whispering in a low voice, "You must stay quiet. They are coming if they see you. We are both dead." The alien nodded, weakly, but her eyes still held that strange light. "Why do you hesitate, human? You could have ended me already, but you did not. You feel it too, don't you?" The truth. The soldier clenched his jaw, anger rising in his chest. "You think I trust you? You think I believe your words? You are the enemy. I should finish this right now and walk away." Yet even as he said it, his hand did not lift the gun. He hated himself for it. But something stopped him. Something stronger than fear. Stronger than hate. It was the memory of her words. Family. The searchlights moved closer. A soldier's voice rang out. "Check over there, behind the wreckage." The human soldier grabbed her arm, pulling her gently but firmly. "Come, we must move now," he said, his voice shaking. Her body was weak, but she forced herself to stand with his support. Every step she took left faint drops of glowing, blood on the ground. He cursed under his breath, covering the trail with his boot. They slipped into a broken building, the walls cracked, the roof half gone. Inside, shadows wrapped around them, and the noise of the patrol grew faint. The soldier leaned her against the wall, his breath heavy. She closed her eyes for a moment, whispering softly, "You saved me. Why?" He shook his head, frustrated. "I don't know. Maybe I am a fool. Maybe I am tired of killing. Or maybe it's the way you looked at me, like I was not just a soldier, but a man." The alien opened her eyes, pain still clear on her face. Her voice trembled but carried meaning. "My people were not all fighters, not all killers. We had families, homes, children, songs. But war burned everything. Now I am alone, just like you." Her words cut deep, sharper than any knife. The soldier looked away, his throat tight. Her loneliness mirrored his own. He wanted to deny it, but he couldn't. Suddenly, footsteps echoed outside the building. The beam of a flashlight cut through a crack in the wall. The soldier pressed a finger to his lips, signaling her to stay silent. The voices of his men were so close he could hear them breathing. One wrong sound, one wrong move, and they would both be caught. He gripped his weapon tightly, his mind racing. Should he fire on his own men to protect her? Could he betray everything he had ever sworn to protect? The footsteps moved away, fading into the distance. The soldier let out a shaky breath. For now they were safe, but he knew it would not last. He turned to her, his voice sharp but filled with confusion. "What did you mean when you said you would give me family? What trick is this? What game are you playing?" The alien lifted her head slowly, her glowing eyes staring deep into his. "No trick. No game, human. Your kind is strong in body but weak in heart. So much pain, so much emptiness. My people have a gift, a bond that heals loneliness. A bond that makes strangers into family. If you let me live, I can share it with you." The soldier's mind spun. Could it be true? Could this broken, fragile creature really give him back what he lost? He thought of the years of silence, the empty nights, the faces of his family fading in memory. For a moment he wanted to believe her, but belief was dangerous. Hope was dangerous. He slammed his fist against the wall, whispering harshly, "I should kill you now and end this madness." The alien did not move, did not beg this time. Instead, she whispered calmly, "Then do it if that is what you want." But if you feel even one piece of truth in my words, spare me, and I will prove it. Spare me, and I will give you family." The soldier's hand shook as he raised the gun again. His breath came heavy, sweat dripping down his face. He aimed at her chest, his finger tight on the trigger. Her glowing eyes never closed. She looked straight at him. Not with hate, not with fear, but with strange peace. The silence stretched, only broken by the sound of his heartbeat. Then slowly, painfully, he lowered the gun. His voice broke as he whispered, "God help me, I cannot do it." He turned away, dragging his hand across his face. The alien woman closed her eyes, relief softening her features. "You made the choice," she whispered. And though he hated himself for it, he knew she was right. The ruined building was silent except for the faint sound of her breathing. The human soldier leaned against the wall, his head heavy, his heart heavier. He could not believe what he had just done. He had spared the life of an alien, his sworn enemy. It felt like madness, betrayal, yet also something else, something he could not name. The alien woman sat weakly, her glowing blood marking the floor, but her eyes, her strange, star-like eyes, never left him. They did not look at him with hate, not with fear. Instead, they carried something he had not seen in years: honesty, sorrow, and maybe trust. He finally broke the silence, his voice sharp. "Tell me the truth. Why did you say those words? Why family? Why me?" She breathed slowly, gathering strength, then whispered, "Because I saw it in your eyes, human. You are alone, just as I am. Your heart carries pain, but also hope. That is why I begged, not for my life, but for yours." The soldier's chest tightened, his anger clashing with confusion. "You don't know me, you don't know anything about me," he growled. But she tilted her head, her eyes glowing brighter in the dark. "I know more than you think. I saw it. When you looked at me, when you chose not to pull the trigger, you long for something that war cannot give, you long for family." He turned away, fists clenched, her words cutting deeper than any blade. Memories came rushing back. His mother's warm smile. The laughter of his younger brother. The sound of his father's voice calling him home. All gone. Burned away by war. For years he had buried those memories. But now, her words dug them up like old bones. He whispered bitterly, "Family is gone. Nothing will bring it back. Not you. Not your kind. Not your lies." But the alien shook her head slowly, pain clear on her face. "It is not a lie, human. My people were not born to fight. We were born to bond, to share feelings, to heal emptiness. When we say family, it is not blood alone. It is the link of soul to soul, and I can give that to you." The soldier stared at her, his mind screaming trap, and yet his heart beat faster. Her voice carried no trick, no arrogance, only weakness and truth. He knelt, closer, whispering, "If what you say is true, then why did your kind attack us? Why destroy our homes? Why kill my people?" The alien closed her eyes, her body trembling as if the question itself was heavy. "There are many of us," she whispered. "Some wanted war, some wanted peace. But in war, the ones who love peace are silenced first. I was one of them. I begged my people not to fight. I begged them to seek bond instead of blood. They did not listen, and now most of them are gone." Her voice cracked, and a tear, glowing faintly, rolled down her cheek. The soldier froze. He never thought an alien could cry. He never thought their sorrow could look so much like his own. And in that tear, he saw something he never expected. Humanity. For the first time, the wall of hate inside him began to crack. He sat down, across from her, his voice softer now. "If what you say is true, then you are just like us, fighting, losing, bleeding, alone." Her lips curved into the faintest, weakest smile. "Yes, human, we are not so different. But where you lost family, I can give it back, not by blood, but by bond." The soldier studied her. Every detail of her glowing skin, every flicker in her eyes. He felt the strange warmth again, the same warmth from her touch earlier. It was not a weapon, not a trick. It was something deeper, something real. For the first time in years, he felt less empty, and that terrified him. Before he could speak, the sound of voices echoed again in the distance. The patrol was still searching, getting closer. The alien woman leaned toward him, her voice barely a whisper. "You have a choice, human. End me now, hand me over, and go back to your empty war, or trust me, and I will show you the truth. The truth that family is not lost." His hand went to his gun again, fingers trembling. His mind screamed at him to do what was right by the army, but his heart whispered that this alien, this stranger, spoke no lies. He lifted his eyes to hers, and in her glowing stare, he saw no enemy, no monster, only loneliness, sorrow, and a strange, fragile hope. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The silence stretched, broken only by the distant thunder of boots. Then slowly the soldier lowered his weapon again. His voice cracked as he whispered, "If you are lying, if this is a trick, I will kill you myself." The alien closed her eyes, her voice calm. "Then let me prove it, human. Look into my eyes and see the truth." He did, and what he saw there shook him. Not hate, not war, not lies, but the same pain he carried, the same hunger for belonging, and for the first time in years he allowed himself to believe, even if only for a moment. The soldier's heart was still racing from what he had seen in her eyes. He wanted to deny it, wanted to call it a trick, but the truth was there. Her pain mirrored his own, her loneliness matched his. For the first time in years he did not feel completely alone, but the night was not silent anymore. The sound of boots echoed closer, louder, steady like a drum. Flashlights cut across the broken walls, searching, hunting. The soldier cursed under his breath. "They are coming. They will find us." The alien woman tried to rise, but her body shook. Her glowing blood left marks on the floor, bright as a trail. The soldier's chest tightened. He pressed his hand to her shoulder. "You cannot move like this, you will give us away." Her eyes, tired yet steady, looked at him. "Then leave me here, save yourself," she whispered. He shook his head quickly, his voice harsh, but trembling. "No, I can't. If they find you, if they kill you, all of this will mean nothing." The voices of the patrol grew sharper now. "Search every ruin, the alien is near, don't let her escape." The soldier's throat dried, his gun heavy in his hand. He could hear their words, his own men, his own brothers in arms. If they caught him protecting her, he would die as a traitor. The choice stood before him again, sharper than a blade. He grabbed her arm, pulling her into the corner. "Stay close, do not make a sound," he whispered. They moved slowly through the shadows of the broken building. Every step echoed like thunder in his ears. Outside, the patrol spread out, flashlights sweeping across the ruins. The soldiers' radios cracked with orders. "Team 1, check the south side. Team 2, cover the west. If you see the alien, shoot on sight." The alien woman's hand trembled against his arm. Her breath came quick and shallow, but she forced herself to stay silent. Her eyes met his, glowing faintly in the dark. He saw fear there, but also trust. Trust in him. It pierced him deeper than bullets ever could. Suddenly, a beam of light slashed across the wall just inches from them. The soldier froze, pressing her back against the stone. His breath caught, his finger tight on the trigger. A human soldier passed by the doorway, gun raised. For a moment, the two men's eyes almost met through the shadows, but the patrolman turned away, calling to his squad. "Nothing here, moving on." The soldier exhaled slowly, his body shaking with relief, but danger was not gone. The voices outside grew restless. "They are close, I can feel it. The alien is bleeding, the trail is fresh." The soldier looked at the glowing drops on the floor behind them. He cursed, quickly smearing them with his boot. But there were too many, too bright. It was only a matter of time before someone followed the trail. The alien's voice was soft, trembling. "You should not risk this, human. Your life is worth more than mine." But the soldier snapped, his whisper harsh. "Stop saying that, I don't know why, but I can't let you die. Maybe I am a fool, maybe I am weak. But if I let them kill you, I'll be killing the last piece of myself too." Her eyes widened, a strange light flickering in them. She touched his hand, weak but steady. "Then you are not weak, human. You are strong, stronger than you know." Her words struck him, filling his chest with both fire and fear. The sound of footsteps grew louder, closing in fast. The patrol was spreading like a net. The soldier knew they could not hide much longer. He scanned the broken walls, the shattered windows, the ruined street beyond. There was only one choice left: escape. He pulled her close, whispering quickly, "We must run. Stay with me. No matter what." Her weak nod was enough. They slipped out through a collapsed wall into the cold night air. The ruins stretched ahead, shadows deep, but the patrol's lights danced across the ground. A shout broke the silence. "There! Movement! Stop them!" Bullets ripped through the air, sparks flying off stone. The soldier dragged her behind cover, firing a few shots to push them back. His own men shouted, anger in their voices. "He's protecting her. He's a traitor." The words stabbed him deeper than the bullets ever could. He was now the hunted, his life tied to hers. The alien woman clung to him, whispering with urgency, "Go, human. Don't stop. I can help." Her hand glowed faintly, and suddenly the wall around them shimmered. The bullets striking it slowed, their sound dull as if swallowed by air. The soldier's eyes widened in shock. What did you do?" Her face was pale, weak from the effort. "A small shield." "Only for a moment, hurry." He did not question further. With her power and his strength, they stumbled through the ruins, the patrol's voices chasing them, the night alive with gunfire and shouts. Every step carried risk. Every breath could be their last. But the soldier felt something new rising inside him. Not just fear, not just anger, but purpose. She had trusted him, and now, for the first time in years, someone needed him. Not as a soldier, not as a weapon, but as a man. And, though the danger closed in from every side, he swore in his heart that he would not let her fall no matter what price he had to pay. The night was quiet again, but only for a moment. After hours of running, fighting, and hiding, the soldier finally found shelter for them. It was a ruined house on the edge of the battlefield, its walls broken but still standing. Inside, the air was cold, dust floating in the moonlight. He guided the alien woman to a corner, helping her sit down. Her body was weak, her skin glowing faint but steady. Every breath she took sounded heavy, yet her eyes remained calm. The soldier sat across from her, his back against the wall. His chest rose and fell, his hands shaking from exhaustion. He stared at her, unable to stop the storm inside him. He had betrayed his own men, his own orders, his own war, and for what? For her, an enemy, a stranger. And yet, when he looked at her, he did not see an enemy anymore. He saw someone broken like him, someone searching like him. The alien's soft voice broke the silence. "You chose me again, even when your own kind turned against you." He clenched his fists, his voice sharp. "Don't make it sound noble. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Maybe I've lost my mind. Maybe I'm just tired of death." But she shook her head slowly. "No. Human, you did it because you still have a heart, because you are not empty even when you believe you are." Her words cut him, but also warmed him. He leaned his head back against the wall, closing his eyes. Her presence was strange, like a weight and a comfort at the same time. He opened his eyes again and asked, "You keep talking about family, about giving me what I've lost. What does it mean? Tell me the truth. No more riddles." She looked at him, her glowing eyes deep with sorrow. "My people had a gift, a bond beyond words. When we touched, we could share feelings, not thoughts, not commands, but the pure truth of our hearts. We could feel each other's love, pain, joy, fear. It was more than friendship, more than blood. It was family, chosen and eternal. And when I saw you, human, I knew you carried the emptiness we can heal." The soldier froze, his chest heavy. The idea sounded impossible, yet her voice carried no lie. He whispered bitterly, "And you would give this to me? To a man who has killed your kind?" She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them again with steady light. "Yes. Because even in your killing, I saw your pain. Even in your anger, I saw your longing. You fight not because you love war, but because you lost what made life worth living, and I can give it back if you let me." His throat tightened, his heart pounding in confusion. He thought of his mother's laughter, his brother's smile, the warmth of his father's hand on his shoulder. Memories buried under years of war now came alive again. He wanted them back more than anything, but fear chained him. What if this is just another trick? What if you're using me? What if I trust you and lose everything again? The alien woman leaned forward, weak but steady. "Then look at me, human. You saw the truth in my eyes before. See it again. I cannot lie with this gift, not in this bond. If you let me, you will feel my truth. You will feel my sorrow, my loneliness, and my hope, and you will know I speak no lie." The soldier's hands trembled. He stared at her glowing eyes, afraid and desperate. Slowly, he reached out his hand. She lifted hers, shaking, wounded, but strong enough. When their fingers touched, warmth surged through him. Not heat, not fire, but a flood of feelings. His breath caught as he felt her heart, not through words, but through the bond. He felt her sorrow, the burning of her home, the screams of her people. He felt her loneliness, wandering alone, hunted, carrying guilt. And then he felt something else, a fragile hope, a longing not for victory, not for conquest, but for connection, for belonging, for family. Tears stung his eyes and he pulled his hand back quickly, but the feeling remained, echoing in his chest. He stared at her, breath shaking. You were telling the truth." She nodded, her voice soft but sure. "Yes, human, I was. Now you carry a piece of me, and I carry a piece of you. No matter what happens, we are not alone anymore." The soldier pressed his hands to his face, trying to hold back the flood inside. For years he had lived empty, but now the emptiness cracked, and though fear still lingered, so did something new. He lowered his hands, looking at her with eyes no longer filled with hate. "If this is family, then I don't want to lose it," he whispered. Her lips curved into a weak but real smile. "Then you won't, human. Not as long as we fight together." Outside, the night was not silent. The distant sound of soldiers still carried through. The ruins' danger was far from over. But inside that broken house, for the first time in years, the soldier did not feel broken. And for the first time, the alien woman did not feel alone. They had given each other the gift of family, and nothing could take that away. The ruined house shook as explosions echoed in the distance. Dust fell from the ceiling, and the soldier's eyes snapped open. He had dozed for only a moment, but now the danger was here again. The sound of boots and voices filled the night, closer than ever before. His own men were hunting them, and this time, there would be no escape. The alien woman leaned weakly against the wall, her glowing skin pale from exhaustion. She had given him her bond, shared her truth, and now she looked at him with quiet trust. But her voice trembled as she whispered, "They have found us, human. I can feel it. They are near. You must leave me here. Go before it is too late." The soldier shook his head, his jaw tight. "No, I told you before. I won't let you die, not now, not after everything." Her eyes softened, glowing faintly in the dark. "You don't understand. If you stay, they will kill you too. I can surrender. I can distract them, give you time to live." But he cut her off sharply, his voice raw. "No, don't ever say that. You gave me family when I thought I'd never feel it again. I won't throw that away, not for orders, not for war." Outside, the sound of men shouting grew louder. "Surround the building! The traitor is inside with the alien. Don't let them escape." The soldier's chest tightened. He could hear the anger in their voices. His own brothers in arms, now ready to kill him without mercy. He looked at the alien, her body weak, her hope strong. He knew the moment had come. The final choice. The alien's hand touched his arm gently, her voice soft as a whisper. If you fight them, you may die, but if you give me to them, they may spare you. Her eyes locked with his, full of sorrow but also love. This is your last chance, human. Choose life, not death. The soldier's throat tightened, his mind racing. Images flashed before him, his family, his home, his years of war, and now her face, her eyes, her gift. He had lived empty for so long, but now for the first time he was full, and he knew the truth. Without her, he was nothing but a weapon. With her, he was human again. He stood tall, pulling her weak body close. No, I choose you if I must die. I'll die as more than a soldier, I'll die as family. The walls shook as soldiers stormed inside, guns raised, lights blazing. Drop your weapon. Step away from her, now, they shouted. The soldier lifted his rifle, aiming at men he once called brothers. His voice roared with fire. She is not my enemy. She is my family. And if you want her, you'll have to go through me. Gunfire exploded, sparks flying off stone. The soldier fired back, his heart pounding, his body alive with purpose. Every bullet was a scream against the war, a cry for the bond he now carried. The alien woman pressed her glowing hand to his back, her power weak but steady, wrapped around him like a shield. Bullets slowed, fire dimmed, her strength protecting him as much as she could. But the enemy was many, and he was only one. His shoulder burned from a shot, blood soaking his sleeve. Yet he stood, teeth clenched, refusing to fall. His voice broke through the chaos. You can kill me, but you will never kill the truth. We are not enemies. We are family. For a moment, the soldiers hesitated. His words cut through the noise of war like a blade. Some faces faltered, some eyes flickered with doubt. But the orders came cold. Fire. End it now. The soldier braced himself, his arm tightening around the alien woman. She whispered into his ear, her voice fragile but full of peace. If we die, human, we die as one. And even in death, we are family. Tears blurred his vision, but he smiled, a small, broken smile. He had been empty for so long, but now, even at the edge of death, he was whole. The soldiers raised their weapons, the night filled with fire, and yet in the last heartbeat he did not feel fear. He felt her hand in his, her bond inside his chest, and he knew, even if the world ended, he was no longer alone. The ruins shook, the air split with thunder. But, in the middle of the storm, one truth remained. The soldier had made his final choice. He had chosen family,